Yep, muted. So as I was trying to say is the coyotes are going crazy tonight. I can hear them off on the distance, but they're getting closer. They're all like fighting and wooing and yarring, and I hear the. I'd say they're within 100 meters of me. Hello. But yeah, that's coyotes. Deal with them all the time. And I'm snowed in. I'm pretty damn snowed in. I took a couple hours today to work on my pathways out of camp, which I now think is completely pointless because it's been snowing for the last like 5 hours again. I'm warm enough. I'm warm enough. Like I'm inside my little shack shelter makeshift home. Trevor, it's really hard to get that done. Like, there's not much snow down here because I'm in like one of the valley dips, but up there, there's like 3 feet of snow on the ground. Well, about a meter worth of snow on the ground. That's a lot of centimeters of snow. That's 100 centimeters of snow. That's like up to my thigh, and I'd have to dig that out. And I'm cozy here. I'm warm. I want to go there, but I can't dig that snow out. I can't do that on my own. I have the new tent though. I have snowshoes. They have been a lifesaver. I only need them for when I'm leaving camp because my direct area there's not much snow on the ground. Right now, for the last couple of days it hasn't been that windy, so it's been falling, it's been accumulating down here. I'd say it's up to about halfway up my shin, right getting close to my knee. It's just if I go up further out of the valley area, it's up to my waist. I had to dig my way out to the highway today just to work on my pathways. But I'm warm here. It's just next Wednesday is going to be the coldest day I've ever been outside. Negative 34 degrees Celsius, which in Fahrenheit in America land, that is negative 30. I don't have any mailing address, unfortunately. Ooh, I just got an email. Yeah, no, I have no mailing address, hence, being out here. But I'm working on something now. I know it's got to happen. I can't. Being out here like this sucks. I can't change things. When you're out like this, it's really hard to make a change. It's hard to get out of it. I had a job interview this week. I've been trying to find something full time. Fucking, it was a real gut punch too. I've been upset about this all week. I've been having nightmares because of what happened all this week. Earlier, I had a job interview. I went to this job interview. It was for nothing fancy. It was for a dispatching position for the taxi company, one of the taxi companies in Sudbury. You go to their location and the job would have been from 10 p.m. till 6 a.m. And I get a call from a person wanting a cab, and then I dispatch a cab to them. Easy stuff. Anybody can do it. Interview went great, and they said, yeah, we're going to move ahead with you. I think you're going to be a right fit here. I'm just going to go get the onboarding paperwork. And they did. Came back out for me to fill it. I filled it out, and they have to take your identification, make photocopies for their files and whatnot. And they took my ID, walked to the back, to photocopy it, and then they walked back to me and the position just disappeared. They read my identification on the address line where it says no fixed address, and they're like, this guy doesn't have a home. We're not hiring him. The job just seemed to disappear the second they took my ID, and that's not the first time that happened. That was like a real fucking kick in the nuts. Like they were ready to hire me. They were oh, this is great. You're interviewing right. They were going to hire you on the spot, and then they find out because that goddamn ID says no fixed address that they don't want me. Hey, Mr. UFO. And yeah, like I know that's got to be changed. And the other thing is, it's something I can do with MS and the seizures and stuff. I would have been fine. So now my option is, like, if I had my own place, if I had reliable internet, I could have a work from home job. I could get a job at freaking one of the Apple call centers for their Apple Care, their returns, and their sales and stuff. I could have that job tomorrow. But I don't. I don't have a laptop. I don't have a place where I can have a reliable internet, and I don't have an address. I don't have internet of my own. So that's not a possibility. And the mods have been on me for a bit to get a GoFundMe started, and I think that's going to be happening very soon, an actual GoFundMe. Because there's a way I can get off the streets forever, like get my own place forever, that I'll never have to worry about paying a bill, and it wouldn't cost that much money. There's a project, I spoke about the Ream project, they'll take me, and all I need is the money for the plot, that's mine forever, and a cheap trailer to live in. Then I can get Starlink and have a small home office and be fine. Hello, hello. Cool Hand Kurt, you cannot link your identification to a P.O. box. I've looked into that. And it's the same thing if you set it up to the shelters. The shelter's address is on there, and there's another marking to say it's my registered address, but it's a shelter. I'm in Canada, Lucky Larry. I don't have coworkers. I don't. It's just me and the boss, and the boss's mailing address is is a PO box. Like her mailing address is a post office box. Because she doesn't get delivery. There is no home delivery to her address. It's just that far in the countryside. I don't have relatives. Okay. Yeah. No. Oh, thank you, Graham. You're freaking awesome. I could lie and put a different address that's not mine, but that's where the identification would be delivered to. So if I do that, how am I actually going to get the ID card? And it's not like they're going to deliver it to that address. You can't like put your physical address and your mailing address as a different part. Yeah, it's not too bad up here tonight. I think it's like -8 tonight, but it's going to be -34 next week, which I'll have a bonfire going 24 hours a day when that happens. Hey, Truth. Luckily, I am fortunate enough to have the job that I've got. That's keeping me going. And, like, I worked 3 days last week. Money. Yeah. 4. Oh, well, I've been back to work since last week, and I love that makes me happy just having a place to be, to have a job. Oh yeah, it's Canada. It's in the negatives. So negative 34 in Fahrenheit would be like negative 30 Fahrenheit. But I, I get. I want to say I get why they would do that. Like, oh, you interviewed well, but then we saw your ID and now we don't want to hire you. I want to say I get it, but I don't. Everything was fine until I handed you a piece of plastic, and now things aren't fine. So I've come up with a plan. We're gonna. It took a lot, but I'm convinced that I'm gonna have to start a GoFundMe. I got to raise some funds so I can get that small plot of land on the Green Project property and a trailer and make sure I have some form of internet so I can work. Because nowadays there's a lot of jobs that are digital that'll hire you right away. And I'll do anything. Plus, that'll actually have a base that is safe, that's mine, that'll never disappear. Lucky Larry. Are you in Canada? Are you in Ontario specifically? There are places for sale. It doesn't really work like that here, though. You get you get into a lot of shit for doing that here. Plus, people generally live in the house they're trying to sell until it's sold. Because, one, it's expensive here, and the vacancy rate for homes in Ontario is like 1.2%. So, 1.2% of all the homes available across the province of Ontario are vacant. Uh, I don't know how I can email you split screen. I can't copy anything down. The best way to is I've got my email address on my YouTube profile. It's also R1988. Fuck. Oh, Grandma, I've got a lot of bags. I've got a lot of sleeping bags. How much is the. It's a half-acre plot within a community of homesteaders for $5,000. That's forever. Yet technically, you don't own the plot. It's a lease, but there's no payments after that ever. It's like leased to you for 100 years. Brad, just leaving like that doesn't work. I've got something called multiple sclerosis. I have to have access to my medication. Hey, random dude. Well, sort of, yeah. It's one person owns the land, and I've been speaking to some people who live on this land. Right now, it's still in its infancy. There's only 6 families that live on the land, but there's like 300 acres of wilderness, like real wilderness. You'd have your pick of plot where you could, grow your own food. I could get me dog. I'd have to do Starlink or maybe I believe there is cell reception there, so maybe cellular internet or rural internet, and I'd find something over the internet like a call center. Dude, I've always wanted to see Slab City. Why do you want to leave? I'm in Canada, man. I heard Slab. I watched a documentary about Slab City. I heard it can be a fairly not safe place. Like people burning down other people's squats and trailers and homes. And I also saw that there was this really one eccentric guy wearing a top hat. He had solar and built like a paper mache mud house that's just gigantic. Leaving like that isn't an easy thing. Like medication wise, I couldn't do it. I've realized that having my own little homestead off in the wilderness somewhere is not realistic because one, I'll never be able to drive a car again. And for me to be functional, I have to have access to my doctor and a pharmacist. I have to have my medication for me to be functional. If I go off my medication, I'm not even going to be able to walk. And no, it's like there's a lot. So I've got, I'd say, my own little issues. I've been snowed in for about 2 days. I I don't know what to call it, but it's a real problem of mine. Not even a problem, but I've got a thing about cleanliness. I have to be clean. It really hurts me if I'm not clean. Like I find a way to get a shower 6 days a week, even though I'm out in the freaking bush. I missed 2 days. Like there was 2 days where I got snowed in here. I couldn't have a shower, and I was having nightmares, very vivid nightmares. It was my shoulder was like from under my arms to my shoulders were rotting off because I was unclean. I have got a problem where I have to aggressively clean myself a lot, and that's why I wouldn't survive in Slab City. uh, Anti-spasm medications, Brad. I've got MS. The ones that are my legs spasm pretty bad. It's the anti-spasm medication. Neurological pain blockers, they help a lot too. And I'll check. I just got it. Oh shit! What I lose? What I lose? What I lose? I just got an email. Oh, split screen. I'm gonna talk to you about a few things. There is. I might not follow suit with your program. One, I've got a job up here. Two, I am not a drug addict. I don't really. I'm the kind of person you give me 2 beers and I am absolutely completely wasted. I don't. So I don't really drink. I don't. I do not touch drugs of any kind. And I want to say I'm the picture of perfect mental health. I'm not, but I'm not struggling with mental illness. I've got multiple sclerosis. The system screwed me over, and now I live in the bush. I'll definitely email you. Oh no, man, shit happens. Like I've thought about this a lot, and I see exactly how it happened. You pick the wrong person. They can do no wrong in your eyes, and you don't do what you know is right. You don't save every extra penny you got for a bad situation because you let this one person, you want to make them happy. And, fuck, shit happens. I'm not even mad at it anymore. It just sucks. Brad, I am on gabapentin. I am on gabapentin. I'm actually on another anti-spasm medication now as well. I'm on low dose gabapentin. There's another medication that's called Cloxolin or blah, Baclofen. And another one like Tisden. I'm also on an antidepressant and an anti-anxiety medication because my seizures aren't caused from MS, but I guess they're a byproduct of it. Stress and anxiety cause me to have seizures. So, woo! Well, I'm on low dose gabapentin because it wasn't that good for me. Initially they had me on a full dose, and it made me. I had bad side effects on gabapentin, and then they made me suicidal. And they've got me on a quarter dose gabapentin and a full dose of another antispasm medication that's new this month for me that I haven't. I've got in my bag, but I'm not getting because it's too damn cold. But it's toxilin, or it starts with a T. All these medications, they have these weird ass long names that are impossible to pronounce, but they've got me on low dose gabapentin, like quarter dose of that, and a full dose of another one because for like a couple of weeks ago, my legs were spasming nonstop to the point they were Charlie horsing and pulling and pulling and pulling. It got so bad that the meat in my legs like cooked itself. They were thinking about giving me muscle paralytic, admitting me into the hospital and paralyzing my legs so they can't do that so they can heal. But they've gotten much better with the new meds. Momo, I do better than pantyhose. I have full body long underwear. Well, Brad, I've the antidepressants and the anti-anxiety medication work together to keep me a little bit more chill and keep me from freaking my anxiety from flaring up because the more stressed I am, the more likely I am to have a seizure. Brad, I'm going to stay on my antidepressants. I'm going to stay on my anti anxiety medication too. Without them, I'm going to end up back in the hospital having uncontrollable seizures. The thing is my doctor isn't a bad doctor. He has my best interest at heart, and I trust him. And I know what it's like when I go off my antidepressants and anti anxiety medication. I end up having these wicked seizures where I just collapse in the middle of nowhere. Imagine doing that in the middle of winter. I wouldn't be getting up. I don't think it's a good idea to try to give a person medical advice over the internet. The only people that should be giving you medical advice are licensed medical professionals who are seeing you in person. They shouldn't even be doing it over the internet themselves. So I think it's a very bad idea for you to be giving anybody medical advice. Oh, don't take these pills. Ever. Doctors, they don't want to hurt you. They don't want to screw you over. They took an oath to do no harm. Believe it or not, most people, most doctors get into it for the right reasons. Exactly. Like, unfortunately, some people, they need these things. Like, even on my anti anxiety medications, I still have issues dealing with crowds of people. I can't get onto a bus that I have more than 10 people on it. Well, I'm just saying the majority of doctors are good people. I have a lot of respect for medical professionals. No, Garrow, exactly. I don't think untrained people should be giving medical advice at all. It's like, oh, take this pill. It worked for me. That's great. It worked for you. Fantastic. I'm not you. Everybody's body is a little bit different, and every medication is fine tuned for that person. That's why swapping pills is a bad idea. My bad habit. Um, it is a orange, citrus orange flavored vape that I got super cheap from the native reservation. But yeah, no. Honestly, when it comes to medications, listen to the doctors. Ain't nobody sticking microchips in your arm through vaccinations. That's not a thing. Why would the government want to sterilize and kill its people? Every single person on the planet is a dollar sign in front of the government's eyes. It's more tax revenue that can be brought in. Exactly. It's in the government's best interest to have healthy, hardworking citizens. They don't. The vac. If vaccinations were causing these horrible diseases or horrible genetic conditions like autism, the government would be stopping it. Because a person that cannot take care of themselves is a person that cannot contribute, that they cannot make money from. Okay, that's the simple explanation. And again, I'm not a believer in conspiracy theories at all, except the only conspiracy theory that's true is the conspiracy theory of conspiracy theories. That conspiracy theories, majority of the time, are bullshit, but the government would love you to believe in the conspiracy theories because it makes them seem more powerful. Oh, man, you know what? There's a direct correlation in water and death. Did you know that much? Water causes death. 100% of people who drink water will die. Did you know that? We've got to get rid of water. We've got to get rid of water right now. Water causes death. Oh, I'm fully vaccinated. Friggin' Christ. I got my COVID vaccinations too. You don't see me. I didn't turn to mush. Joshua, I am in the state of constant fear. I'm in Canada. Actually, geographically, I am at the same height. I'm in Canada, town called Sudbury, which is about the same latitude and latitude as the furthest part north of Minnesota or New Hampshire, or is it Minnesota? Hey, Platypus, where was it again? Like, if you draw a line from there, that from the northernmost state, not Alaska, you can. I am on that line, right at the tip. Was it Maine? I thought it was Minnesota. Maine is a little bit further up, isn't it? It was to the left of Ontario. Pretty sure it was Minnesota, because it's the one that goes like this. Weird thingy at the end of you. It's got the pointy thing at it. At the tip of there is the same latitude that I'm on. Like, you can draw a line directly across from that tip to where the city I'm at is. Ready, Annie? The MAID program wasn't brought in by the doctors, and doctors do not want you to die. The government wants the sick and the unable to die. That's why they brought the MAID program in. They've tried to use the MAID against me too. They've tried to get me to take MAID. I'm telling you, it's not the doctors that try to convince you to take MAID. Doctors will never say a damn thing to you about it. Yeah, there are some scummy doctors that'll get you to sign it, but no, 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 no. The doctors do not want the MAID. It's the social workers that try to push you into MAID. I'm actually pretty warm right now. I'm in my little cocoon. That's why I'm laying down, is so I can stay warm. My body heat is enough. I'm not scared. Poison. No, I know what poison ivy looks like, so I'm not too scared of it. I'm an avid forager. In fact, I'd say just off the looks alone, I can identify 100 different plants that are edible. I can even show you how to get wild rice up here in Canada, where to harvest it from. Heck, even wheat. Well, it's not wheat, but it's wheat adjacent. It's very related to wheat. It's one of the it's a wild variant that used to be harvested by the natives that I know. Same with I love eating cattails, the bottom stalk of it. Yeah, the doctors are the one that do the deed, but sometimes you get forced into doing things you don't want to do. Like, geez, if you're told that you're going to lose your medical license and your livelihood, you're probably going to have to do that. And it's not the doctors; it's the doctors being pressured by the government. You don't understand the kind of government we have up here in Canada. We're not like in the States where you guys actually have freedom. We, I'd say our current government is very tyrannical. Like, you're talking to the right. If you have a viewpoint that's your own, you're talking to the right person because I've gone through it all. And, like, I've been stuck in a room with the social workers for a few times for over 2 hours. With them, they come in with this big blue book to convince you to take MAID. They actively try to make you think it's a good idea, and they try to make you think it's your idea. It's disgusting. So when it comes to MAID or anything like that, I consider myself an expert, and I swear I'll tell you how it is. Uh, yeah, I wish I could have a vehicle, Samuel. Like I can't drive. I'll never be able to drive again for the rest of my life. So about that, I've got a lawyer because of what they did to me, and not on a hidden camera. But Canada is a one-party consent for recording. The second time they did it, I recorded the whole damn thing, and for my disability case, I found a lawyer through something called the Faculty of Law at University of Toronto. There's a place down by Hart Hall. They connect people who need a lawyer with lawyers, and I've got a lawyer handling it. But I got the whole damn thing on recording the second time they did it to me. Like, ugh. And it's given me a distrust for social workers, complete distrust for social workers. I instantly, if someone says they're a social worker to me, I'm like, okay, so are you one of the people that just want me to die? Yeah. Oh, social workers, who needs them? Yeah. Fuck. I'm interested to hear why you don't want to you no longer want to be a social worker. Why you left that? I'm very interested to find out. But no, see, there's something I really believe that It's okay to get mad. Just get mad at the right people. That's why I have trust for my doctor, because my doctor's a good person. That's why I direct the anger towards the social workers, because they're the ones that were doing it to me with a smile on their face. Oh, hey Jay. Yeah, no, it's difficult to get disability here too. Like fighting for 4 years now. Ah. Hey, Gabe Hunts. Ah, yeah, that. So with that, I used to be a crane operator for many, many years. It's one of those things you got to go through an apprenticeship to do. And you can't even teach or work with the colleges to teach if you do not hold that license. And that having that license through your apprenticeship is dependent on you be holding that license. And doing that is, if you can't drive a car, you can't operate a crane kind of deal. I lost my licenses because of seizures. That took it a while away from me. Up here, there's a program called Second Career. If you find yourself needing exactly that second career, the government will send you to school, pay for the school, and pay for living expenses. I've applied for that a couple times. And unfortunately, my situation does not apply for their criteria for second career. So that training stuff, I know what you're saying. Oh, training. Okay, fine, whatever. There's a point, like, I'd take any job. Fucking Christ, I would go flip burgers at McDonald's with a smile on my face, because you go for such a long time with no income at all, and you're on the streets and you're eating ramen every single day for nothing but ramen. It drives you a little insane. Uh, and when even McDonald's wouldn't hire me, because heck, I needed to replace my IT when I left my was finally on the streets last year. No one wants to hire you. Like, McDonald's wouldn't hire me because the no fixed address on my ID. Walmart won't hire me because of the same reason. Oh, why they won't hire a homeless person? Because they think you're going to steal. I don't steal anything. I looked for 10 months in Toronto, and Toronto's a big city with a lot of jobs to find a job. No one would hire me. I got an interview 4 hours north. If you're driving a car, I took a bus to a town called Sudbury for a night auditor position at a motel. They didn't hire me. I stayed in Sudbury because I was lucky. That day, I went to another place that I had an interview, because on the ride up, I organized another interview for the day after. Because, don't sit on your hand. If you're just sitting on your hands while you're on a ride up there, you're doing something wrong. Found a second interview the day after. Showed up. It's a small shop away out of Sudbury. Showed up a day early to check the place out, and said, "Oh, I'm just trying to find the place because I've got an interview here tomorrow." And it just so happened to be the owner of the store that was at the counter. She says, "Oh, that's you." And she hired me on the spot. And she knew I did not hide anything from her. I explained the whole situation. Heck, she's even been to my camp. And it was only supposed to be till September, so she's a good person. I have a mad respect for my boss. Yep, Ontario sucks, man. I'm in Ontario. Yeah, no, you'll know. I'm not going to be dead. I can survive here. It's just part time, but it's been keeping me going. Like, they won't. they won't give me the Trillium medical plan. That is a drug plan for your meds, because I have that job and the YouTube that I make like $200 a month off, which helps. The money from YouTube helps a lot. So I got to pay all my medications out of pocket. The job I'm working at pays for my medicine, my meds for, yeah. And it's about $700 a month with the new stuff. And the YouTube money helps me survive the month. Oh, no, no, no. And one thing I want to let you clearly know, I'm not here trying to beg and ask for anything right now or ever. I'm here. I do the streams more for my own mental health, having an outlet to get my frustrations out and talk to really cool people. It helps keeping me. It's helped me keep me sane. Well, the first of all, I believe that people with addictions, they deserve help. They deserve a lot of help. They are the most vulnerable people out there. I don't agree with the way the government handles it. I don't agree with giving an addict disability after a month with a methadone clinic so they can start, getting $1,500 a month for their addiction. I think they should, if they should be put into a program to get clean. So I don't think the way, but I do believe they need help. I'm holding up pretty good. I was a crane operator, Zeus, for many, many years, but I've got MS. I have seizures. I can't do that anymore. I'm working at an outdoors outfitter store. Exactly. That's. I think people, the addicts, they deserve help, and that's where they should be. They should open more detox and rehab centers across the country. Deal with the illness, not the symptom. Like, what I'm talking about, the symptom is cities like Toronto and Victoria, BC. They open, there's dozens of them now, are safe injection sites. A place you can go where a nurse will fill your needle and help you inject it into your arm. I think they should close those down and open more rehabs. Fix the illness, not hide the symptoms. And that's a damn thing. That is coming from a person who has been living on the streets, who has seen the worst of the worst. Who has had a group of like 4 addicts, like hardcore users, come up to where I was camping and saying, "Hey, this is a nice spot. This is ours now." Bloody carrying hammers and weapons to chase me off and hurt me. So when a person like me says that, it's true. Raggedy Ann, I agree with you. Transitional housing. For fuck's sakes, look up the town Peterborough. They had this encampment on Wolf Street, and it wasn't just a homeless encampment. It was full of hardcore drug users that were breaking into the nearby houses, robbing the places. They decided to fence it in, and then on one of the unused lots in town, erect 40 tiny home shelters. They've since added another 30 to that. where they brought these people to that were addicts, who were committing crimes, who were hurting the people in the area, brought them there. Not just that, they just said, they didn't be like, okay, here's a new place for you to camp. They outfitted the tiny homes with a bed, power, and bathroom facilities, but stationed social workers there and got them treatment. And you know what? The average stay in there was 6 months. People were getting clean, people were getting on their feet instead of, them just bulldozing the encampment for them to set it up somewhere else. They did that right. I am proud of Peterborough. Jay, I appreciate that. Well, I don't think. I think deep down, every addict wants help, but that need for whatever their addiction is so strong that little person deep down inside screaming for help is overshadowed. Sometimes what a person needs is to be forced into help. Oh, Raggedy, I've saw it. Okay, in Toronto, I met a lot of people. The weirdest shit I ever saw, heartbreaking stuff I saw, where kids, like I call the kid 18 years old, fresh on the street because, oh, they didn't get along with the parents and the stepdad didn't want them there anymore, or they came out of the closet and their parents gave them the boot. I saw a lot of that in Toronto. One case didn't turn out well. One case, the kid got hooked up with a bad crowd and is now a severe addict. The other one, the second kid, still keep in contact with the kid too, but he got kicked out of his house because he came out of the closet to his parents. His parents gave him the boot, and I just happened to find him in the woods, just crying on a log. The day after that, we got to the library and found a program that took in LGBTQ youths. He finished his high school, and he's up in Ottawa now going to university, so it could go either way. Michael, I'm in Sudbury, Ontario. Near it. Not in it, but close enough. Yeah, no, like, with it, it can go. There's one of two ways it can go: really bad, or it can go really good. Unfortunately, most of the times it goes bad because you meet the wrong person, you're screwed. I've told it a couple times on the channel. I didn't go into detail, but I'm really happy for him. Like he's doing well. He's in university in Ottawa now. But again, the wrong person could have found him, and there's something you got to look out for is people wanting to be your friends, especially out here. Like someone comes up to, hey bud, I want to be your friend. I want to help you out, and they're gonna do you favors and stuff to make you feel like you owe them. And then a week later, you're gonna be slinging their product wherever it is. I'm good with everything, honestly. At this exact point in time, I'm okay. I'm not here asking for anything at all. I'm just here to chat. That's why I do these live streams. I'm not here, you know, selling my nipples for pocket change yet. Ooh, Raggedy Ann, I got a story. I got a story. I got a story. You reminded me of my story. I got one. 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 It doesn't just happen to women. That just doesn't happen to women. That just doesn't happen to women, gotta say. So I'm a big burly guy. I'm a big guy. I know this. I'm a big, bushy beard, kind of mean-looking, bald guy. I don't look young like I used to. Uh, this is back in Toronto. I used to go to a library in Toronto to charge my stuff. relax for a bit, read some books, read the dictionary because I play Scrabble with some friends. When I say play Scrabble, I win Scrabble. Uh, but yeah, I read some books. My eyes got tired, so I go out and sit on the bench just outside this library. I'm sitting there for maybe a few minutes, and this car stops right in front of me on the other side of the road. The guy looks at me, pulls a U turn, pulls right in front of me, and stops his car, unrolls his window, and looks at me. He looks at me and he says, "Hey, you, yes, you, me, we can have sex." Yes? Seriously. That's what he said. I didn't think the guy, I didn't understand what he was asking at first. But I was like, sorry, what was that? Oh, you and me, we can have sex. We can have sex, yes? I was like, sorry, what? It's did you just ask me to say we can have, are you asking me to have sex? It's like, you mean sex, yes. And he's got like a $20 bill in his hand. I stood up to see what he's on about because, again, it's like, I'm so freaking puzzled because, this is a goddamn library. Who does this in front of a library? And I'm worth a lot more than $20. I'd like to think that much at least. But I said, man, are you good? Are you on drugs? Are you high? Are you got mental problems? What's wrong with you? And he's like, he rolled his window up and drove away, but it was like, Jesus Christ. What the fuck just happened there? And all I can think of is this guy saw me while he's driving by across the street, had to stop his car, pull a U-turn because he's like, ugh, damn that big burly bear. I need to get me some of that. Borat, yeah. Oh, man, first of all, I'm a straight guy. I don't swing that way, but again, you got to. I think I'm worth a little bit more than $20. Maybe $25. Oh, that was like it just doesn't happen to women. 2250. Yeah, that's the line. Anything lower than 2250 is a no. Oh, thank you. Oh. Yeah, no. It's that was my one experience that was really messed up. There was another one. Oh, fucking Christ. I had to go down to Niagara Falls for a bit. This is right at the beginning. A lot of bad stuff happened to me in Toronto for right at the beginning, so I left Toronto trying to find a place. Went to Niagara Falls because there was a prospect of work and I knew somebody there. Good old Shelley. She's an older woman. My stuff had just got robbed, and I met her in Toronto because she camped out in the area near where I was all summer long, and she went up there because she had during the winters she works at a motel there as she takes care of it. Well, I just got all my stuff robbed, and she had extra stuff she was giving me. I was waiting for her to get it. I'm sitting outside one of the motel rooms, and this guy approaches me, and he's asking me if I want work. He saw me this giant. I know I'm a Goliath. I'm a Goliath of a human being. I'm intimidating, and my stature scares people. He wanted to know if I wanted a job working for him, escorting his girls. He wanted me to be protection for his girls. The guy was a pimp. That really was disgusting to me. Yet Toronto's gotten pretty bad. Well, where I am now, there's no people to cook for, just me. Like right now, I'm working on something. Like we're probably going to be putting out a GoFundMe soon because I found a community that I can get to and live, and it wouldn't cost that much money. Like the property itself is dirt cheap, and I would have access. I can get a trailer that it's an older trailer from 1985. Get it for like $800. Plunk that on the land, throw some solar panels down, get Starlink, and I can work there. That's what I'm working towards. We got to figure out a GoFundMe because there's no way I'll save money the way I'm living right now to do that. But with that, I'd have safety of four walls, and I'd be able to work from home, get a call center job or something online. But I'd have an address, and that's what I'm working towards. That's what the GoFundMe would be about. But we're still in the planning phases of that. No, I'm not. I'm nowhere near Thunder Bay. Hey, I'm not racist, not in the least bit. Are you? Don't be a dick. We've got four rules here. There's no sexism, racism, homophobia, and just don't be a dick. And you're starting to be a dick. Yep, there you go. You must be a very sad, sad little man. Sorry, I'm not even going to block you yet. I'm going to try to say something to you. Going online, trying to make fun of someone online, being hateful and bigoted like you're being, just shows how sad and pathetic your life is. It doesn't make it cool. It doesn't make anything better. It makes you look sad and pathetic. And I feel bad for you. I really do. Well, my life is not in a good place. My life is rough and horrible. How bad must your life be for you having to come in and try to kick a person while they're down and they're down low? It makes me think you're about 12 or 13 years old. You just pissed your mom and dad off. They beat your ass and sent you to bed without dinner. Don't be a dick. I feel bad for people like you. I really do. But I've said my piece. You have a good night, Buttsburg. I'm gonna go ahead and put you in the corner. Oh, the coyotes weren't messing with me. They were just yarring. They were nearby. Eh. I'm gonna put you in timeout where you belong. Oh, I actually feel sad for people like that. I really do. There's got to be something going on in their life that is so horrible that they're coming online to try to hurt somebody else to make themselves feel better. They don't realize that they're just hurting themselves by doing that. But there's either something wrong in his head or he's just having a very bad home life. Just by his comments, the kid's no more than 14 years old. So for all I know, his parents just finished whipping his ass for something he didn't do, and he came online to try to take his pain out, let his pain out, and unfortunately, he's doing that to some random person online. Hey, Wes. No, no, I do feel bad for people like that because again, there's got to be something going on really bad in their life for them to try to come and do that. Like, I don't think there is any such thing as a bad person. People do bad things, but they generally have a reason why they do it, even though the reasons are misguided. If that makes any sense. Someone just hurt me, so I have to hurt somebody else to make myself feel better. That's usually the mindset. Thank you, Ann. No, again, I don't. No matter what mistakes another human being has made in their life, I don't think. Well, there are evil people, but I don't think people are bad. Oh, I told them off, Bushcraft, man. I told them off. But nah, there's no point in fighting with them. I like to say my piece and then put them in the corner. No, exactly. Like, that's the thing is today someone might be being a little shit. They could be assholes for years, and then something happens to them that shows them that they were being shitheads. They feel remorse and they want to repair what they've done. They want to start making up for the bad they've done. So I don't think bad people are bad. I don't think bad people stay bad. Thank you, Rav. I appreciate it. Uh, Fair enough. But anyways, guys, it is almost 11 at my time. I gotta get up and go use the bathroom and whatnot. And I don't feel like, walking you guys out to my latrine. So I'm gonna call this a night for me. You guys have a great night. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for keeping me sane. And y'all have a good night. Take care.